Hi everyone, it's John from What Up. Welcome back to another video. Now, in this video, we have all of the news you could ever possibly hope for about the restart of filming for the Wheel of Time production in Prague. We're going to talk about that, as well as how Logain can fit into the first season and what a storyline might look like. And we also have some new castings. Now, these castings aren't necessarily of the human variety. They're more animal, but they're really neat, and we're going to talk about them as well. Also, in the community section today, I'm featuring Malkier Talks. It's a Wheel of Time based cooking YouTube channel. Now, I know that sounds a little, strange, but if you ever want to learn how to make Marin's honey cakes, this is the channel to go to. It's really neat. It's a lot of fun, and I'm actually going to try my hand at making them later today. I might post about it. I might not. It depends on how well it goes, because I am a terrible baker. I don't know what to say other than that. I'm just really bad at it. Alright, so before we get started, spoiler warning. In this video, I'll be referencing 2 direct scenes from The Eye of the World. So if you haven't read up to at least chapter 38 of the first book of the Wheel of Time, be forewarned, I'm going to spoil these scenes in great detail. However, I will not get into how they affect the overarching plot of the book, so you have no worries if you've not, if you've gone beyond that. Alright, let's get on to the video. Alright, so what we have is we have a few different avenues of information when it comes to the restart of the Wheel of Time. The first one's from the Prague Reporter. Now, they are reporting, they are a local Prague website, and they are reporting about the Wheel of Time production because it is a very big deal there, because a lot of film and television shows are filmed in Prague, and it's a big part of their economy. So everyone there is very interested, not just fans of the show, but everyone's very interested in when this could come back, because it's their livelihood as well. Now, the Prague Reporter has talked to a couple of the casting agencies, and they both reported that they believe that the filming will restart the end of July, early August, which is phenomenal to hear, and that pretty much goes in line with almost everything we've heard so far. Now, Rosamund Pike actually gave an interview to the Empire Film Podcast, so I listened to it, and Geeky Airy retweeted it all over Twitter, so if you want to listen to it, I've left a link to it down in the description box down below, so you can actually listen to that interview. It starts at 27:10. She talks a lot about being Madame Curie, a lot about the pandemic, and wearing a mask, and the state of the world, and how she actually did stay in Prague, so she did not come home when they finished filming episode 6. So that's the other thing. During that interview, she said, and she confirmed, they completed the last shot for episode 6 on Friday, March 13th. That's crazy. The borders closed that night at midnight, and that's when they completed the final shot of that episode before everyone had to go home. Now, she said that they're hoping to start filming late summer. However, the logistics behind it are an absolute nightmare, and that makes sense because they have actors and actresses from all over the world. South Africa, Korea, Europe, the US, Canada. There's people everywhere, and every country has their own rules and laws when it comes to the pandemic, and when the borders will open, and when people can leave, and she does reference that during her interview, and she does talk about that. So as far as us being hopeful that they're going to start this summer, there's a lot of hope there. However, we don't know really. Nothing is really concrete or set in stone, and people are going back as they can. Now, I know a few of the crew have been packing up over the last week or so. Don't know when they're leaving to go, but we see on social media them packing, getting ready to leave to go back to Prague. So that's another really good sign. And the last little bit of news about the reopening is Extra Films. It's one of the casting agencies that handles extras for the Wheel of Time production, among other productions in and around Prague. So Carnival Row, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, any other show that does there, they usually do that. They do them really all over the place, but they're handling those shows as well. They had 2 casting calls in June. Now, one of them's already passed. It was on the 17th, and the other one is on the 24th. Now, it's just looking to register for these projects those days. They have no idea when filming will restart. However, it does say that they think it will start at the turn of July, beginning of August in their post. So that's another little hopeful tidbit that they might actually get into filming again this summer. Now, we move on to an interview that was done with Alvaro Morte. Now, we all know that he's playing Logain the False Dragon in the first season, at least the first season of the Wheel of Time. We won't talk about any more than that because I promise you no spoilers. But in the first book, he's really only referenced by word of mouth, and he's only in one scene physically. And that scene is when Rand climbs the garden wall to see him being taken through Camelin. Now, that would equate to, if they filmed it exactly as is, probably 20 seconds or less of screen time for Mr. Morte. And he is a massive Spanish actor. He is one of the biggest. And we know that Rafe has said he is definitely going to have an expanded role in the series, which to most fans is a very good thing, because Logain kind of went away and then he came back and he played some important roles, but he was never really fleshed out. We didn't really see a whole lot of things, especially from his point of view, which would have been really nice. Now, why is this important? Well, it's important because he said that he left Prague a week before the borders closed. They closed on the 13th, so that would have left him around the 6th or so when he left the country, and he was completely finished filming for that season. So, from that, we know for sure that he is only in the first 6 episodes of the first season. We will not see him in episode 7 or 8, which sort of makes sense, because episode 7 or 8 is going to be directed by the same director, and it's usually when that happens, it's a two-parter or they tie in together. So it'll be the big finale of the season over the last 2 episodes, so they can keep continuity between them and keep the same directing style, which is a really good thing, but we know Logain won't be there. So what does that mean for Logain? Well, with an expanded role and with him not being in the last 2 episodes, we know pretty much for sure that they're probably going to show his capture. They have to. I mean, he's not out and about and running the world. We are referenced in the other world about the wars and about the things that are happening with Logain and how he's doing them and how he's proclaimed himself as a Dragon Reborn and is doing certain things, but we don't actually get to see it. So my guess is that the scenes that Alvaro Morte shot will be the ones where he is amassing his followers and actually waging war. And it's a really good thing, because that'll give Amazon really a whole lot of leeway to explain channeling, to explain male channelers in particular, and to explain what the Dragon Reborn really is, because you don't really know what it is in the books until you get a little further on. And while that works great for the book series, it may not work as well for a TV show where people are going to be questioning things because they're not readers of the books. So I think we may see him wage war, I think we may see him build up his armies, and I think we may see the actual scenes where he's captured, which would be really cool to see. Alright, let's get on to the next topic. So now we have Scanline Vfx. They are the VFX company that's working on the Wheel of Time, which... blown away. I don't know what else to say about this. They're throwing some major money at this show. They really are. So Scanline, if you're unaware of who they are, they're massive. They have offices all over the world, but their main headquarters is in Munich, Germany, and they've worked on everything from Spider-Man Far From Home, Game of Thrones, Missy, the new show on Netflix, which was actually really funny, The Wrong Missy. They've worked on Suicide Squad. They're working on The Batman, the new one coming out with Robert Pattinson. They are a premier, frontline, go-to VFX company. And for them to be able to work on the Wheel of Time, I don't really know what else to say other than this is amazing for Amazon. And I know I say that a lot. I've been told that I'm too happy about everything I talk about for the Wheel of Time, because I'm not critical of pretty much anything that Amazon has done for this production so far, or if I am, it's very, very small things or very little things. But I can't be. I mean, they're making a lot of very good, very proper decisions to make a blockbuster television show. And as a super fan, and I mean like an absolute Wheel of Time super fan, I want this to be good, but I also understand that it doesn't have to be shot for shot, word for word like the books. I know it's going to be an adaptation. So as long as it's not a bad adaptation, I'm super happy with it. And with the talent they have, with the production companies they have everything set up to make this really good. So I've left a link in the description box down below to Scanline's. Basically, they're real, so you can go through that, and it showcases a lot of things they've done for major productions over the last little bit, and it'll blow you away. I'm not going to lie, because there's going to be some stuff in there that you didn't even realize that these people did, and they are going to be working on the Wheel of Time show. So that's a really cool little tidbit of news. Now we're on to our animal castings. So Hopper, Dapple, Wind, Burn, are these them? So WheelOfTimeSeries.com recently reported that there was a kennel, and I'm really, really bad with names, so I'm going to have to read this. Z Molo's kennel that was preparing a wolf pack for about 6 months prior to the production. Started for acting and scenes within the production. Now, when I say wolf pack, they're not really wolves. They average about 28% wolf blood. So these are dogs. They're trainable, they're loyal, they're happy, they're good to be with people, but they have a lot of wolf blood in them, so they have the look and the feel of an actual wolf on screen, which is exactly what they're going for. Now, these wolves, these specific wolves, and I'm going to read their names here because their names are so cute. Tinky, Kalupinka, and Fufinka. They're the ones that are showcased on the website, and you can see them right here. That's Tinky, Kalupinka, and Fufinka. I couldn't tell you exactly who they're playing because they haven't really released that Tinky is Burn or Hopper, but these are our wolves for the first season of the Wheel of Time. Now, something that Wheel of Time series did not report, but Narg from the Daily Trolloc did pick up on, was that the production work for this was done in 2 places. So the first place was done in a studio in Prague. So they did some inside shots in a studio in Prague, which you would expect because they're going to do green screens and VFX added and stuff like that too. Anything they need to do there. The second thing was there was a scene that we talked about that was shot at some ruins just outside of Prague in another video of mine. And these ruins are massive carved faces, and there's a cave with some carvings inside, and it looked really, really neat. And I speculated at the time that this was where Perrin and Egwene did get captured by the White Cloaks, where they camped for a night in the setting, and they ended up fighting the White Cloaks with the wolves and got captured. That was what I speculated. The wolves actually did shoot at that location, which to me pretty much cements the fact that that is the scene they shot there, because there's only a few scenes of wolves in the first book, and that's one of them. So if they're shooting there and it kind of looks like a location in the book, and the wolves are there and the wolves are in that location in the book, it goes pretty much to me without question that most likely that's the shots that were done there, and that's really exciting because that was done a fair bit ago. And when they shot those scenes, we know that that's partway through the Eye of the World. So they're trucking along there, and I mean, look at the wolves. I want one. I'd love to have one. All right. So that's all the news I have for you today. If you do like what I'm doing here, please click the like button. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. I have a lot of fun with what I'm doing here. And leave a comment down below. Let me know how you think I'm doing, anything you'd like me to improve, any suggestions for videos or other things like that. I've also left a card and link at the end of this video to my interview with the Wheel of Time Extra. It was a whole lot of fun to do, and if you haven't checked that video out, please do check that video out. It's really, really cool. All right, let's get on to the community section. Hi everyone, welcome to the community section, and today I'm featuring Malkier Talks. Now, the link to the YouTube channel is down in the description box down below. If you like to cook and you like Wheel of Time theories, this is the channel for you. Here is a couple of things that he's actually made on the channel and teaches you how to make, and they look really, really good. I'm not going to lie to you, the videos are awesome. They're very easy to follow for someone who doesn't cook or bake. I would check him out. So I'm going to read a little blurb that he gave me here about his channel, and yeah, so here we go. So Malkier Talks is a content creator focusing on Wheel of Time themed food turned into real life dishes you can create at home. As well as Wheel of Time themed food, you will also find that Malkier Talks likes to call fun theories. These are theories about aspects of the Wheel of Time with fun little twists and ideas. Think of them as part of a deep dive, part loony theory with a splash of wouldn't this be cool. Malkier Talks is also on Twitter and Instagram, and I have put both links down below in the description box, so you don't have to just follow his channel. You can follow him on Twitter and Instagram. He posts all of his recipes up there too. It's a fairly new channel. It just started, so go show him some love, subscribe to his channel, and see what he's all about. All right, I want to thank you all for sticking with me here to the end, and here's to many more.